Give it up to you.
Okay, welcome. My name is Jerry Shefsick, and I am Vice Chair of the Clark County Public Art Committee. I'm calling this meeting to order August 12th, 2025 at, was it 3:38 p.m.? Welcome, everyone. My view of the room is a little blurred, so I can't quite tell who's there.
That's all right. We could announce them for you.
Okay.
So we do have in person. We have Jerry, Ken, Jeff, and Mary. And then excused is Alexia, Heather, and Alfredo.
Okay. So I don't need roll call now?
No, sir.
Okay. That was agenda item 1. Agenda item 2, public comment. This is a period devoted to comments by the general public about items on this agenda. No discussion, action, or vote may be taken on the agenda item. You will be afforded the opportunity to speak on individual public hearing items at the time they are presented. If you wish to speak to the board or this council about items within its jurisdiction but not appearing on this agenda, you must wait until the comments by the general public period listed at the end of this agenda. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Please step up to the speaker's podium or raise your hand digitally, if applicable. Clearly state your name, address, and spell your name for the record. Any member of the board wishes to extend the length of the presentation, this will be done by the chair or the board by majority vote. Okay.
There is none.
There are none? Okay, agenda item number 3. We have approval of the agenda for August 12th, 2025. We need a motion to do that.
I'll move that we approve today's agenda. Jeff Fulmer.
Thank you, Jeff. Do I have a second?
Ken Ruffin, I second.
Thank you, Ken. Been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item 4, approval of the minutes of May 16th, 2025. They were included in your packet, and I'm hoping everyone had a chance to read. Any corrections or changes need to be made on that? No? Okay. Anyone need a motion for approval?
I'll motion to approve the minutes.
Who is that?
Like it's Alexia.
Yes.
Okay.
Record
Alexia,
show Alexia is in attendance.
thank you. And a second?
I'll second. This is Mary.
Mary, thank you. All in favor, moved and seconded? Second, yes, yeah. For approval, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay. Now for the meat. Agenda item 5. We have projects up for assignment and discussion. We need to assign jury members to existing calls. 1 board member to be assigned to represent the art committee on the jury for the following public art projects. Do we have someone to describe what, like?
Yes, I do. Let me go ahead and share the screen, and then we'll start with Eileen, having her talk about the ZAP projects. That is not the right. Share again. Sorry about that. So Microsoft PowerPoint, right? Pull it up. Yeah. Okay, so Eileen, go ahead and start with Zap, please.
Sure. So for ZAP 19, we have identified 7 boxes altogether for the District E. We identified 7 spots, but we're actually only doing 6 of those spots. The 7th one is just for backup in case we'll need it later. But ZAP 19, we would like to get this opened up by the end of this month, and then painting would be closer to between fall and winter, and then completion of hopefully by December. So for this project, we will need a art committee member as a juror. And just to note that with ZAP, I believe the last few ZAPs, we have been having the art committee board member attend the first jury meeting, but they don't have to do any of the evaluations, just to save you so much more work. Did you want to move forward to ZAP 20, Mickey, or do we
Yes.
assign now? Okay.
Oh, I do. Let me. There we go.
All right, and then for ZAP 20, this will be our 20th anniversary ZAP. So we are doing this as a special edition ZAP, very similar to the Allegiant Stadium ZAP. Again, we do need an art committee member juror for this. And again, they won't be included in the evaluation process, just for the jury meeting in order to give their feedback about the project. But this one will be inside Sunset Park. I believe we have a total of 12 boxes for this, and we are only doing 5 spots for this ZAP. And I think that's all I have.
Right. And then legacy, sorry, that's typo there. I kind of froze out midstream apparently today making the slide. So Legacy Park Legacy Trail is a bike trail that's running through Red Rocks. This project is for $175,000. It is in Summerland, adjacent to the West Career and Technical Academy. It is a proposal to create a public art piece that is a celebration of cycling while honoring lost cyclists. It will, you'll see later on that with the Southwest Ridge Bike Park, that has been sent out for RFQ, but we're actually going to do this call first, as purchasing wasn't able to combine the RFQs. And so we want to kind of separate it out from as many jury members as possible, because the redundancy is going to be vast. We're assuming the same artists are going to apply for this one, the Southwest Ridge one, and the active RFQ for City of Henderson that is very similar in scope. So we are looking for an assigned evaluator there. Mary is assigned to the Southwest Ridge Bike Skills Park. And that's it.
Okay. So we're in need of board members to be assigned to one of 3 there. Now, what's the time frame for ZAP 19?
ZAP 19, we're trying to open this call by the end of this month, hopefully. So evaluations will happen probably next month, September. And then the completion is hopefully in December of this year.
And then which meeting or the meeting for the jury member, when would that be projected to be, and what would be the responsibilities?
For ZAP 19, so the art committee board members' responsibility would just be to be present for the jury meeting and to give feedback on the language for the project and the goals and you know what we usually cover in a normal jury meeting.
Okay.
And then, does Eileen, can you clarify then, once you have designs, the art committee member does get to chime in on the designs as well, correct?
Oh, yes, definitely. It's just the evaluation and scoring that they won't need to be part of, but they will be part of the design proposals as well.
And then who would the other members of the group be?
Who's your other evaluators, Eileen?
Yeah.
For ZAP 19, I have 2 previous ZAP artists, and then we still have yet to get the commissioner's choice for the jury, and then we need the art committee board member.
Okay. So a volunteer from among us.
Yep, or your committee members that are absent.
We can assign them to committee members who are.
You can.
I'll volunteer for ZAP 20 would be my first choice, and then ZAP 19 would be my second choice.
Well,
Um,
and
oh, this is Alexia. I'll volunteer for one of the ZAP. I've never done the ZAP one before, so that would be interesting.
would you be willing to do ZAP 19?
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds like 20 is already
Spoken for, yes.
spoken for.
I would be happy to do the legacy trailhead too, unless you'd like to spread out.
Oh.
Evaluate, but that sounds like that one is needed. Kind of,
It is
Yeah.
needed. It would be something in the fall.
Yeah.
And then probably extended through January, February, because RFQs just take such a long time. But the plan is to try to set up a evaluator meeting within the next couple weeks. Identify some goals to it. Most of everything else has been written already for it, and get that project out into the public.
I'm happy to do that one.
Okay.
Seems like having some continuity between those two really related projects
It is.
Yeah.
maybe makes sense.
Save your
Even though you
notes for
tried
the
to-
next one. Okay, so it looks like you do have all 3 spots filled, but you would need a motion to solidify it.
Okay. So who, with the legacy trailhead, who was that?
That's Mary.
Mary. Oh, good for you. Okay. All right. For agenda item 5A, ZAP 19, I have a motion for Alexia to represent the board on that committee. All in favor, please say aye. Oh, I guess we need a motion first.
Oh,
You could motion all 3.
Altogether, yeah.
Okay, that's easier. All right, ZAP 19, Alexia, and ZAP 20, Jeff, and the Legacy Trailhead, Mary. Now, we need a motion for that.
I'll move that we accept committee members to the assigned projects as Chair Shefsick has stated.
In a second,
Ken Ruffin, I will second, please.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Wow.
So much.
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. Okay, moving on to it. Move on. All right. That being done, moving on to agenda item 6, a report by staff regarding monthly summary of activities.
Yes, thank you. We're gonna open up to Gina is gonna talk about the first one.
So in terms of open calls right now, we have Life and Death at Winchester Gallery. So this is a call for visual artists ages 8 and up. The deadline will be September 14th for that, and the reception is going to be Saturday, November 1st, 2025. So yeah, that's an annual, it's one of those calls that we do honoring that those themes of like life and death and celebration of that.
And I'll say too, this is, I believe Irma's starting to try to announce that, but it is her last year. So if you haven't had an opportunity to get out to this event, this is what she started years ago, and come celebrate her. Okay, so Miss Avey is rocking it. You can see all of the activities that she did in the last 2 months. She just closed up on her EK poetry. Was this past weekend. There were 6 people that came and did her workshop. Those people will be performing at Plantasia reception September 4th. So please get out to see some of this poetry that we're doing. Something that's coming up is Clark County will be engaging with City of Las Vegas and their book festival. So Miss Avey will be hosting she'll be hosting a poetry event, an open mic at the event. That's going to be new this year. They haven't really done something like that before. And then we're also funding for a poet to come in from out of town and do a workshop during the day. And that's going to be kind of our release of our Inkwell programming. So just like Full Scope for visual artists or public artists, the Inkwell is supposed to be a professional service for our local poets to help them along their way.
For Full Scope this month, we have Claire Wenzel, public artist. I'm sure everyone's familiar with Claire. For her workshop, she will be covering her journey through being a public artist. Her topic will be the need for a creative community, inviting the public into our art. This will happen next Tuesday, August 19th, online through WebEx at 3 p.m.
Youth education. So Lauren's been working on this call. There was 30 applicants that had applied for the temporary public art project. And I believe they have gone through interviews at this point. So they had identified a top tier amount of candidates. They went through a round of interviews. They did video interviews this time around, and there was so many good qualified candidates that the discussion is instead of doing 2 calls this year, let's take from this 1 call and hire out spring artists as well. So that is what we're working on right now. And then the image here is actually one of the artists. I'm drawing a blank on their name, but this This went to a couple different locations. It showed at Winchester and it went to Silverado Ranch. And basically the children created zines, and then those zines were put into this larger organic sculpture.
Pearson Gallery, we just wrapped up our second annual Juneteenth exhibition at the end of July. We did have a reception for it, the gallery of which was curated by Tamika Henry. And yeah, it was great. I was so happy to have like so many artists and like a group show, since that's Juneteenth is the only group exhibition we do all year. And finally, we have our 4 selected solo series artists for the fiscal year. That's Holly Hamilton, Jerissa Pratt, Corey Harper, and Denise Mayan. So each of these artists will be leading a workshop within their exhibition dates, as well as having a reception, having like a musician at the reception. And yeah, it'll be great. I'm really excited for this round of solo series, and I hope that more people can come and connect with Pearson and the gallery and the community there.
Thank you.
So currently at the Rotunda Gallery at the Clark County Government Center, we have Plantasia. This exhibition is about plants and people and their relationship to plants. It's a great exhibition. I loved helping put this together. The reception date will be September 4th, my bad. That'll include a plant swap, poetry readings by Poet Laureate Miss Avey, along with guest poets, and we'll have a guest musical artist, Size. Just yesterday, we installed Full On Fantasy at the Winchester Gallery. So this was juried by Sarah Jean Odom. This exhibition features a lot of high fantasy art inspired by like mythical, magical creatures and landscapes. It's a really fun exhibition, a lot of like great character art, very, very whimsical, very fun to like look at. So I hope that you all get a chance to check this out. Wetlands Gallery and the Company of Animals is juried by Sean Russell. This exhibition features animals, pretty self-explanatory, how we feel about animals and everything. A wide variety of art in this exhibition. So, yeah.
All right, Mustafa.
Hi, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, for summer, besides our followers, the numbers didn't increase too much, only because our summer season is a little bit slower than usual. But we were able to put some really interesting exhibitions and open calls together, and that's where most of our interaction came from, both on Facebook and Instagram. And looking forward to the fall season, we do have a lot of things planned. I don't know if this speaks to art committee specifically, but one of the things we're really working on doing, me and Gina are going to talk about this, is doing more artist interviews, looking at some of the people who have had a history with Clark County Public Art, and seeing if we can maybe do some sort of studio visit and really just do a spotlight on the different artists that have been working in the city. That's something that I'm really excited to do, and it'll definitely help out when it comes to just more engagement and driving more community engagement with specific individuals.
Thank you. Oh, you got a few more.
Yeah, and then for this one, yeah, when it comes to some of the marketing calls that we had a little bit more per usual. I'm actually pretty new to the team. I started in June, so I don't have a context of what was happening in the spring. But since I've come on, I've been able to commit myself to completing most of what's been asked of me. So we're gonna go for 100% by the next time I see you guys.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so conservation, we have uh, roughly 5 projects in the works. We actually, and we have one that's completed. So 7 Magic Mountains, we did pay the $50,000 again this year. I did reach out to the museum and ensured that our $50,000 was going towards maintenance of the piece for right now for this year. They did confirm that that was the case. They had stated to me in an email that 7 Magic Mountains would move in December of next year, so of 2026. And so the county will have to address that because we want to make sure that we're not funding a project that will get moved. So I know that there was some other stuff that came out in a news article, so we will see where that goes and what happens in the next year.
But we haven't heard anything official about that not happening
Correct.
as far as Clark County's goes.
Yeah, that is correct. And then, so we did change vendors. We did just get the PO, I think, late last week for a company that is, please ignore the typos, for a company called American Graffiti. And so we will be transitioning over to that company. We'll see how they go. And until we hit that $100,000 threshold, we are just going to continue to do yearly quotes to secure these companies. After that, once it goes past $100,000, then purchasing will step in, they will do it as a bid, and then we could secure a company for 5 years. It'll just have some, certain percentages around it of like how much a company can increase each year. And then also we'll have to calculate how many SAPs are we doing and where are these located? What are we adding onto their plate? But American Graffiti also has the contract for Public Works, and so they run that the strips corridor, and they're removing graffiti off of there, so they should be well in tune with what we need. As far as reach goes, we're still awaiting some responses on our plan, and then hopefully we can move forward and get working on this piece. Homero's been assigned Aku Aku. I think in the last year it's kind of disappeared off of your radar for a bit. It's been placed back on his radar and your radar that we're to move forward with this project. So he is in just gathering phase right now to find out how much money this is going to cost. I jump back up to here. We also have Day of the Dead mosaic murals. So Sierra has done quite a few murals for Winchester over the years. There were some other artists that have done them as well. We reached out to Sierra and she is just not up to take that project right now. And so we are engaging another artist to look and see what they can do. Hopefully, if we're quick enough, we could have some type of workshop or activity at Day of the Dead that will help resolve those missing tiles from this great mosaic mural that Sierra had started. Community engagement, we have a lot of projects going on. Most of them are in their infancy phases, and so they are rapidly evolving. Some of them may not even exist by today, so we'll get into it. But it's better to have a lot on the books and then kind of flush things out than not have enough, right? What you're gonna see in this is we have done a lot of direct selects, so hiring some local artists that have either applied with us on other projects or they were just a good fit for the project, whatever it is. We've gone out. Typically, what we've been trying to do is we will identify 3 artists, send that to the stakeholder, and say which one would you prefer. And then we'll go to that artist and say, hey, the stakeholder, we showed them your artwork, they really liked it. Can we make a deal, right? So this first one is Eileen. I'll let Eileen speak.
So Zap, Harmon and Jones is now complete. Our artist Juan Muniz finished this back on the first week of August. He was also direct selected. He did 4 separate boxes on that intersection. They look amazing. So if you drive by, please check them out.
He did have some issues with tagging. The great thing about Juan is he really pushed his social media, tagged us a lot. And so I think those of us that follow him kind of know what happened, but there was the reason why we were approached to do this area in the first place was there was a lot of graffiti. So we knew we needed a artist that had some strong presence, that had some name notoriety and that type of thing that would help to shut down the graffiti. And so, of course, a couple days into him painting, he had finished completely 1 or 2 of his boxes, and somebody came in and tagged all over it. And so he publicly berated them on his social media. He cleaned up the box immediately, got it resolved. And I think it helped. I definitely think it helped this area, and it helped with the tagging, right? So time will tell, but he did a great job. They are anti-graffitied at this point, so we can continue to maintain it. And as long as we stay up on the graffiti, the hope is that the kids in this area will knock it off, move on, maybe be inspired to create better art. And it should be noted that this is FY25 items. I think we clearly made that distinction, but just to tell you again. Same thing with this one. All the funding was paid for in FY25. Only thing left on this one with Lois is to celebrate her. So we have a dedication set for sometime in September, and we will get that out through our newsletter, let you all know as well. And want to announce, Tammy has kind of transitioned into a public art coordinator for us. Okay. So this is one of Tammy's.
Yeah, so for the trash can art, a stencil company has been identified and vendored, and the jurors have been identified as well. It's just a matter of scheduling a stakeholder meeting with them, and the project still needs to go to long range planning as well.
Okay, this project is, so America 250 history utility boxes. There is a grant that closes this Thursday. So the opportunity is now to apply for this and see if we get awarded the funding to be able to do it. It is a match program. But the idea is to partner with the Clark County Museum and identify some historical utility boxes in our rural areas and our urban areas. Not necessarily concerned about jurisdiction wise, so might even be in the heart of city, who knows. But we want to identify 20 boxes to to vinyl wrap, do historical images, give a timeline of Nevada, of US, and of Clark County. Have that on one side of the panel, and then, you know, history lesson, you know, what happened at this corner at this time. We want to identify, you know, neat stories that could relate to the area, you know, different cultures and backgrounds, I think would be really fun. And then heading out into those rural areas is a great opportunity as well. So if it all goes well and we do get it funded, the idea also is to hire a historian, hire a graphic artist, and hire a vinyl company. So it kind of gets off the backs of employees, right?
And the Spring Mountain Youth Camp Empowerment Art, currently we are still waiting for a budget to give to our artists. We have already secured the vinyl company for both projects. For this project, for both projects actually, it's going to be a two-part project. The first project is doing a digital design for 5 of the cabins on the inside the youth camp. And the vinyl designs will be going on the walls above the entrances, as you can see on the top photo there. And the artists who will be chosen for that project, they will have to do a couple of engagements with the youth for each cabin. And then from those engagement, they'll get sort of like a design inspiration to do these digital designs to put up as vinyl on each of the cabins. And then the second part of the project is a Connex box that is located outside of the cabins out on the yard of the youth camp. And we will be direct selecting an artist for this one as well. This will also be a vinyl wrap. So all the artists will be designing a digital artwork for this project. Like I said, we've secured the vinyl company. We already have direct selected the artist, so we're just waiting for a budget for the artist in order to solidify the contract.
And I want to say on this, the only reason why we chose the vinyl is because this is up in Mount Charleston. And, you know, time frame wise, with it snowing and with an artist already traveling out to do the workshops, and these are these young men's dormitories. This is where they're living. This is where they're doing their classes, all of that stuff. It just made more sense to do vinyl and kind of, you know, let the artists do what they do best and create the art, but save them the labor extent to it. If you don't know what this place is, it's a boys' camp for troubled young men. So, you know, at times a judge may say, instead of sending them to prison, they'll send them to this camp. So this camp is a high school, and it is an institution where these boys will, they're cleaning up trail systems. They do play football. That's why there's this football field, and then they're getting their high school diplomas at the same time. So it's a really interesting, neat opportunity for us to come into this space, and I'm hoping we can brighten it up a little bit. They do want a permanent sculpture at some point too. So at some point I'll come to the committee about that proposal as well. Camp Lee bathroom murals. So back in the day, there was a group called SBI. It was youth that the county hired through HR. HR runs this program, and they bring in interns into Clark County. Well, at the time, Joe House was working at Winchester and he was able to get a handful of young individuals and throughout the years, he hired various artists. One time it was Mark Brandovic, did a year or so. I'm dropping Tony's last name, but Tony from Monkey Gym, he did a couple years as well. Anyways, so at one point, they had done a project at Camp Lee and the teens had painted these murals on signs, on the back of old signs and placed them up in the bathroom. They are worse for wear at this point, and the camp would love for something to be back there, but not necessarily that painting, not restoring that painting. So I have reached out to an artist that does live in Mount Charleston, and I have asked her to take a look and give us a price quote and see about, we'll just pull off that. She will paint an actual mural on the drywall and kind of move forward from there.
So for the Walnut art, our artist Beth Neves, she has submitted her design proposal. She only submitted the design proposal for the women's bathroom at the moment, and that's being approved. But she is still working on the design proposal for the men's bathroom, and that's what we're waiting for to finalize her designs. And after we receive all of her designs and they've been approved, we will move forward to connecting with the vinyl company, working with them to print out and install the artwork. So we're looking to hopefully have this project completed by the end of this month.
So at the same time that juvenile justice system reached out to me, family services also reached out to me, and they took me to a visitation center. It's a visitation room for children that their guardians or their parents or their relatives aren't allowed to visit them unless they're being supervised. So as you can imagine, this room is pretty sterile. It's an office space. It's a massive room. And we didn't really have the budget to start painting walls. I mean, each wall was like 100 and some odd feet long. It was a massive room. So I looked at two areas. One was in the waiting room. And so we're partnered with Melvin Ennis. So that Von Tobel Community Center. They have a part-time staff member there that had worked with teens to do Black History Month and do these portraits, these construction paper portraits. So we've connected her with Child Haven, and this week and next week, she is working with those children to create their portraits. That's gonna go in the waiting room. We're gonna purchase some frames and hang them. Inside the facility, we're gonna look at creating like a temporary installation. A lot of the community centers will do this. They'll come through for an event and they will, they'll transform their space using construction paper. The director of family services does not really want us to touch the walls. He's a little concerned that real property management would be upset if we're damaging walls by putting staples in it, that kind of stuff. And so we're gonna work with the community centers to try to have staff create an ambience by doing the ceilings. So they're gonna hang stuff from the ceilings. There's a big pillar in the middle of the room that they could maybe make as a tree and just kind of go from there. It's a one-time deal. supposed to inspire this department to maybe rethink these visitation places. They have more than one. This is just one out of many. So yeah, so it's a good thing that we're doing. It isn't quite accessible for everyone, but that is also why I'm trying to go kind of low dollar. The arts plan is funding the materials. Parks and Rec will fund the staff to do this.
The firehouse utility box has been completed. Our artist Lee Lanier completed it yesterday, Monday. So he's pretty much finished with this project. It's been sealed with anti-graffiti coating. I believe they have an event of unveiling the firehouse for the 16th of this month. I believe it's at 9 a.m. And during the event, the commissioner will say a few words about Lee and about the box that he painted in front of the firehouse. So if you are free around that time, please come by and enjoy the event and check out our new Zap box in front of the firehouse.
And that's at Rainbow and Blue Diamond. So as Eileen was working on empowerment art for Walnut, and she had applications from several graphic artists, Helen Meyer, supervisor, reached out. Wasn't the first time he's reached out about this project. And so I talked to Eileen and Homero, and we assigned it to Homero. He has taken 3 of those artists that applied for the Walnut empowerment and provide that to the stakeholders. They made a selection, but we're still waiting. We have to go through space planning to get that approval before we can approach that artist and let you know who that is. Visions of the Past was a call, it's a project that we're coordinating with the county museum. It is on display right now. We had allotted up to 10 artists to apply and select and pay $1,000 each. We end up with only 6 artists had applied, and so we hired all 6 artists. They created artwork based off of the artifacts that were going to go into that museum exhibit. So that is on display now. I encourage everyone to go take a look. The county museum is completely free. They fixed that in fees and charges a couple months ago. And we do have a reception set for October 24th from 6 to 8 p.m. So if you're available, come on out, come take a look. And then these 2 projects are for much later in the year. It's just there for you to be aware of, but you know, we have a great relationship with Wetlands, and so they're working on doing their temporary art. This is a very old image. And then Artists in Residency program, they will have, they already have it set up when their call is going to open and close. And then that image is of Meg Hears. This is her sculpture that she created when she was Artist in Residency. And now we have our projects. So we have 19 projects funded right now. We do have 2 additional projects that we're just trying to wrap up. The funding has already been spent, but we got to do the dedications. So quickly, we do have on August 20th at 4 p.m., we are going to do the courthouse dedication. We're going to do this one small, intimate. It's more of a press event, but if anybody's around, wants to come, the artist will be there, and we are encouraging people to come and talk to them about the artwork. We're just not gonna have performers and food. It's just a little too hot at 4 p.m. But great piece from Jerry and the other two artists. And then Pearson, so the Pearson pillars have been completed. We did the dedication, but we also have the documentary by Zachary Freed. And so that is set for September 4th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the West Las Vegas Library Theater. If you all are interested, if you're wanting to go to this, please get an email out to us. Stephanie will send you a special invite so you could register for Eventbrite and be on the. There's basically 2 events are going to happen that day. We're going to go and have the VIPs watch the documentary, and then there's an artist talk, and then general public could come in the next set to watch it. So, yeah, make sure you come down and take a look. And then we'll probably do something in the fall, maybe one of our receptions at Winchester. Then we'll have viewings at Winchester Theater of this documentary as well.
For Lamont temporary play art, the first install is Dog Island, which was installed at Mountain Crest Park. It's going to be on display until this Friday, or August 15th, and then it's going to be moving to District B for our input at Bob Price Park. At the same time as Dog Island, there's going to be another exhibit at Cannon School Park and Reed Marketplace Park, where it's going to be some football benches be put there. And that's going to be going on the same time as Dog Island, which is from August 15th to October 1st.
I'm gonna skip a few. I know, Jerry, you're pressed for a bit of time too. We had a great number of applications for this Walnut Recreation Playground mural. I think it was close to 80 applications. So I wanted to talk about this really fast. So what we're doing now for evaluations is we get a large number like that. We're going to have our evaluators just take an initial gut look. Sorry. The first round is our staff members. They take a look and is the application qualify for the evaluators to even look at. So we'll go through and we'll eliminate anything that just isn't an application. They didn't provide what we've asked them to provide. We don't want to waste our evaluators' time. Now, then we get into our evaluators. They're going to take just a very quick glance, and they're going to identify 2 things. One, do I have a conflict of interest? That conflict of interest specifically for this committee, it's not that you know these people. It is only if really you have some financial stake. Like, that's really the only time. If we are disqualifying all of you because you know everyone, there's a problem, right? We're going to be in a pickle for evaluating. So it's important to keep in mind that. So you're going to find out conflict of interest, and then you're just merely looking at the artwork and saying, do I want to investigate this artwork anymore? Is this something that interests me enough to move on? That helps narrow down the field so that you don't have fatigue when you're evaluating. Then you're going to go through a round where you're going to actually evaluate those handful of people, and then it goes from there. So I just want to say that it's just really important for our evaluators to kind of hunker down a little bit, set some time aside for evaluating and try to get it done in a timely manner. If you are struggling, or if you can't commit, let us know. And if you need to reach out to me, please, my door is always open. You have my emails, you have my phone numbers. Please reach out to me and have a conversation with me if you don't want to have that conversation with your coordinator. And then Eric, I did want to highlight this. This is the new piece that's going to be going out at Hollywood. Eric Vizzolo has been awarded this project, and he will start painting here in the next month. So we're very excited about that dedication. If you remember, that dedication also has a song that goes along with this mural. And so it's just a fun experiment, right? And then we're still working on this project. We have to move a lot of POs over. This week is that time where the county will let me move POs over from a different fiscal year, and we could really start gearing up to finalizing this project. And I think I'm gonna leave it at, oh, let's announce this one too, Eileen.
Sure. So we're happy to announce our artist for the Wetlands Monument is Luis Varela Rico. He will be creating a very large owl with an interactive third eye. Currently, right now, we are scheduling his first milestone meeting, which will happen either at the end of this week or next week. And then we're just going to move along from there. So this is an exciting one. This is going at the Wetlands Park.
So we can see Jerry. All right, that is it for us.
I do have a question on ZAP 18. Where do we stand with that one?
Steve, do you want to answer or?
Sure, I can answer. It's just on hold. It's on hold. The summertime just came up too fast on us, and it is way too hot to be sending artists out to Searchlight. We do need another evaluator meeting to kind of resolve some differences that were happening in that first evaluation meeting. And then we can kind of move on with that project. So hopefully it's this fall, Jerry. Thank you for being on that project.
I just hadn't heard anything for a bit. I was curious.
True.
Okay, thank you. Not that you don't have a lot of work to do. You're still short-staffed?
Yeah, yes. Yes.
Okay.
So we do have 5 full-time positions funded. We just need to fill them. There have been some challenges. There have been some challenges along the way, and it hasn't been fun for any of us. So, but we are making some strides. We do have an offer on the table for a office specialist. So that person in the next couple months, once they pass probation, will come on board. And then the project coordinator position, we should have more info in maybe October about that position. And then the conservator, and then there's Stephanie and I, so that's the other 2 full-time positions. And then the conservator position, we're in a weird predicament. It doesn't exist. That job title doesn't exist in county. So I've been asked to write that job description. So I did that yesterday. And then time will tell if HR will accept that job description or they'll say, no. We do have a museum registrar position, which is very similar to a conservator, with the exception that the entire job description says museum, and that person doesn't physically go out and do what our conservator does. So that is a big change. So time will tell on that one. Yeah, it's a good time.
Okay, well, thank you. It sounds like they might be looking up a little bit. So, all right, agenda item 7, identify emerging issues by the committee at future meetings. Are there any issues that any of the committee members would like to discuss at a future meeting?
I'd just like to remind staff that there was one in the May meeting. Alfredo brought up something about some projects that were funded by the National Endowment for the Arts. So maybe that can be agendized for next month.
Yeah, thank you for
Or
that.
not, if it's gone.
Yeah, possibly. Alfredo and I tried all summer to get together and we did not. We failed. That's been part of it. So soon as I can, I will get it on.
Okay.
Yeah. And thank you for seeing it again.
Thank you. Any additional thoughts on that? I mean, on issues?
This is Alexia. I think I saw an article about murals for Chinatown. I'm not sure if that was part of redevelopment heading that. So that's something else that's come up recently in the news.
And that one, we'll put it back on community engagement. I had it on your items in FY25, and then I mistakenly took it off. I actually swapped it for a firehouse in that area, which hopefully I think it's being taken off of our plate. So that's nice. But yes, we will update you more about that program as well. It is done through economic development, so we are just supporting where we can.
Since Alexa brought up news, wasn't there some news about some developments at Commercial Center? Or no? I mean, is that relate at all to
What we're doing?
what we're doing?
No, no, we are very much out of the conversation when it comes to Commercial Center.
Okay.
Yeah. But they have brought us into the Chinatown, so we can talk about it.
Okay, well, thank you. Okay, moving on then to agenda item 8. Any comments by general public? Has anyone been identified or would like to make a comment? In person or online?
They're neither.
Neither?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, thank you then. Agenda item 9. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, September 9th, 2025 at 3:30 p.m. Okay, well then, thank you very much. Agenda item 10, we stand adjourned.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
You.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Bye.
patience with me.